Understanding SEO metrics in Semrush is fundamental to having success using this platform. If you're not really familiar with what all this different stuff means, then it's pretty difficult to really use this to your benefit, right? If you don't already have a Semrush account, I'll leave a link below where you can get signed up for a trial and you can test out all these different features and everything and follow along with the video. But essentially, this is one of the more popular SEO tools out there. And you can take a website of your own or even somebody else's website and put it into the search bar up here. Click search. And that by default is typically going to take you, if you're starting the when you log in and add it here, it's typically going to take you right to the domain overview. From here, we see a couple of things right at the top here. We can switch to desktop or mobile. So there's the option to select historical data, which you have to have a premium plan to do that, but you can switch between desktop and mobile to see what the data looks like between the two. You can also look at worldwide versus the United States versus the UK or other countries. And this is, of course, going to be different depending on the website that you put in here. But let's just look at the US. From here, there's a couple of tabs up at the top. We can compare domains, look at the growth reports, and compare by countries. We'll get to that in a second, but first, these are kind of the main items that most people focus on when they're looking at an overview of how a website is performing, at least from an SEO perspective, which is going to be like your authority score. And this is just how authoritative your website is compared to other websites online. So it's all a comparison, essentially. And there's, I think over 1 billion websites online. So there's a rating with Facebook and Google being 100 with authority score there, like at the very top. And then brand new websites start at like a 0 or a 1. And you're probably going to be somewhere in between there. So if you are looking at competing with somebody in your space and they have an authority score of 80 and you have an authority score of 92, you're probably going to be able to outrank them for keywords pretty easily because your website in general is just seen as more authoritative, and a lot of that is driven from backlinks. So we see the backlinks over here. There's 38.3 million backlinks to bestbuy.com. which is a considerable amount of backlinks. But it's not just the total number of backlinks that matters. There's also the referring domains that play a role too. So it's taking a look at this data and comparing it to all the other websites online, and that's how it's calculating the authority score. And the authority score is different on every platform. There's like Moz has one, but they're all sort of calculated based on backlinks primarily. From there, we can see their overall search traffic, 48 million, which essentially means that's how many clicks they're getting from organic search each month based on the estimates from this platform. And that's from 6.7 million keywords. And we can also see the intent behind those keywords, with a majority of the keywords being navigational or commercial or transactional, which are further down the buying funnel and essentially going to deliver higher value traffic. There are some 33.9% of their traffic is from informational. That's going to be more like blog posts and how-tos and things like that. But that's probably still really valuable traffic for this website, Best Buy. That being said, they're also spending a lot of money on ads. I guess it's all relative, but $2.4 million a month. So these are all monthly. Well, backlinks is total, but these two are monthly figures. So they're spending about $2.4 million a month. Or, excuse me, that's not how much they're spending. This is how much traffic they're getting. So they're getting 2.4 million visitors per month from their paid traffic. We can dive further in to see how much they're actually spending by just clicking on this. Same thing with the organic traffic. We can open up the organic And that's just going to take us to this organic search option, or this tab here. And this is a further breakdown of what's happening on the organic side. So there, we saw this before, 6.7 million keywords, 48 million traffic, which is visitors from organic. And the value of that traffic is 25 million, roughly, 25.6 million. On the flip side, when we look at their paid stuff, paid traffic, they're getting 2.4 million visitors from paid, and they're paying about 830,000 a month to get that traffic each month. And that's from about 8,000 keywords. So that's really helpful information to know, right? If you're going to go try to compete with Best Buy, it's good to know that they're spending roughly $1 million a month on their ads. Because if you don't have a budget that's anywhere near that, and you don't have an SEO budget that can get you this sort of traffic, it's going to be hard to compete with Best Buy, right? So coming back here, there's also these metrics which you won't necessarily get on every single website, but because Best Buy is a larger website which is getting considerable amount of traffic, we are able to see some estimated data about the performance of the visitors on their website as well. And this is super cool. So we can see that people are visiting roughly 4 pages every time they visit the Best Buy website on average. Some people are going to visit 8 pages, some people are going to visit 1 page, but on average people are visiting about 4 pages every time they go to bestbuy.com. So that's good to know. We can look at our analytics on our website and say, okay, we're at 5. People visit 5 pages per visit, so we're higher, that's good. Or maybe we're below and we need to work ours up. But knowing roughly where the competitors are in your niche is super helpful. And then we have the average visit duration. So on average, people are spending about 8 minutes and 50 seconds on bestbuy.com when they visit. Some people, again, are going to spend less time, some people more time, but on average, that's about what people are spending. So we also have the bounce rate. So this is how many people go to the website and then click the back button before visiting another page or clicking on anything on the website. So it's essentially people who didn't find what they were looking for. And Google and other search engines see that as a negative sign. So the higher your bounce rate percentage is, the worse off you are, ultimately. And there's 38%, not too bad. If it was at like 70%, then we might be like, well, what's going on here? A lot of this traffic is just going to their website and then leaving. They're not buying anything, because you'd have to go to multiple pages typically to buy something, right? Now we can come down here and see some of this data broken out in graph format. So we see their organic traffic. This is the 48 million here, 48 million. And we can change this, see lifetime. Well, at least I think it only goes back to 2012, I believe. But from there, you can see that they have been steadily growing their organic traffic every single month up until the end of the pandemic, it seems like, and then it started to drop back down a bit. And that's, again, helpful information to know. We can zoom in a bit more if we want. We can just look at what's happened over the last month, 6 months, year, etc. By default, it's just going to be on 2 years. And we could even just look at their paid traffic if we want. Let's see what they've been doing. It looks like towards the middle of the pandemic or later in the pandemic, they were pretty heavy on the paid ads, which is interesting to note. We can also see the same sort of information for their organic keywords. It's going to tell us where they are ranking on the search results page in terms of the positions for however many different keywords. So top 3 is going to be right here. In February, they had 702,000 keywords that they were ranked in the top 3 for, which is why they're getting a substantial amount of traffic. Makes sense. But interestingly, there seems to have been a massive shift right here. We might have to investigate. That might just be a change in data. And then we can also see all these little changes here when Google is rolling out updates to the platform as well. And correlate those to different things. We can switch this down so it's a little bit easier to see exactly what's going on. And then I guess there's all this information too, which we can switch and simply toggle all this information between paid and organic. But this is just to help easily see the breakdown of traffic from each country. 92% from the US, really helpful to know. And also we can see a breakdown of their search results page. So, there's a bunch of different things that show up in the organic search results: images, reviews, products, featured snippets, FAQs, a bunch of different stuff. But a lot of what they're showing up for is actually images, which makes sense because Best Buy sells products, and products are going to be image-based when you're selling them. So there's going to be a ton of products that they're showing up for. If you're searching for iPad or something like that, you're going to be able to see images from the Best Buy website of an iPad. And then a majority from there is also, it's saying reviews, but it's really, I think it's just products with reviews is what's really showing up here. But, outside of the images, it's mostly going to be their website showing up. I guess that's the only other thing besides videos. But that being said, we can see the distribution here. We can also open these up if we want to see a further breakdown. That's true of basically anything in here. You can kind of click in and see a bit more about what is going on. So let's hop back real quick and see. We'll get back to this here in a bit. The top organic keywords. So we have, again, 6.3 million keywords. We can see the top keywords here, and this is going to be by search volume and the traffic that they're getting from that. So those are usually correlated. Again, we can see a further breakdown of this. You can also see distribution. This is similar to what we're seeing up here, but just broken down into a bar graph. The intent, we were seeing this up above as well, but this is just a better breakdown with a little bit more detail. And branded traffic. So there's a lot of people are searching for Best Buy. About 62% of people that come to the site organically are just searching for, buying something on bestbuy.com. That type of thing. Not necessarily bad. They built a big brand. So you can also see a breakdown of their main competitors: Newegg, PC Mag, Target, CNET. We could even see more here. And a map of the competitor position. Target has a bunch of keywords, but not really that related. So it looks like Newegg and some of these others are going to be pretty close competitors. You can see the common keywords down at the bottom. Anyhow, got a breakdown of that here. Their advertising research section, or the advertising research section. So top paid keywords. Again, they're doing a lot of branded marketing, it looks like. And then the paid position distribution. So a majority of their ads are showing up at the top of Google when they're running ads on Google, and very few are showing up after that. And then we have their main paid competitors. Interestingly, it's Samsung that's spending the most money as far as paid competitors. And this is the same thing as before we were looking up here at, but this is for paid, right? And then some sample text. So just a brief overview of what their ad copy is looking like, as well as some of their backlinks. And then we have some graphs where we can see how many no follow links they have compared to follow links. Quite a few no follow links actually. And the link type, so majority are text. That's interesting. We can also see their anchor text breakdown. So this is helpful for SEO, as well as referring domains. And you can jump into these as you feel is necessary and see what's going on. So let's take a look at the traffic research or the organic research a little bit further here. So essentially, once your site is in here, you've clicked search, you start checking around what's going on. If you're going to click into something related to organic keywords, it's going to take you to like the traffic analytics. If you click into paid search, it's going to take you down into some advertising stuff. You can even click into the backlinks over here, and it'll take us to the backlink analytics tab. So you can also just explore down these or click in anywhere where it's blue. You can essentially click on things and just keep finding more and more and more data. And I mean, there's too much to really go into every single thing in one video. I've made plenty of other videos. I just kind of wanted to give an overview of the basic SEO metrics. Backlinks are going to be important, obviously. But also, there's these additional tabs up the top here where you can dive deeper. You can compare domains, check out growth reports, compare by country. So this will help you further sort things out. I know we talked about coming back to this earlier. You can also get to some of this stuff through these side tabs here as well, right? So I was going to look at where is the keyword gap. So let's say we can also do this for backlinks. Backlink gap would be interesting. Let's say our competitor is Office Depot, and we want to figure out what's the difference between these. We can add our company and then our competitor's company in here. Click go, and it'll actually show us where they have backlinks that we don't have backlinks. So Canva looks like they have 8 backlinks. We have none, theoretically. Obviously, this is just an example, but IBM, there's a bunch of these. So we could export this, see what's in the gap here, and address that concern. And of course, I've made videos explaining how to use these different tools, to how to find backlinks using the backlink link building tool, all that sort of stuff. And you'll navigate and find all that different data through just doing an initial analysis, putting a website or a keyword in here, and looking through all these. And now that you kind of have an understanding of what each of these mean, you'll be able to understand, oh, this is kind of interesting. Let's take a look. Like, wow, a lot of their traffic is coming from branded keywords. What is all this branded traffic that they're getting? Well, we can just click in here. You can see it's already preloaded a filter up for us. Now we can look at some more metrics, specifically analyzing their branded terms, which obviously is going to be like Best Buy Near Me, Geek Squad. And it's going to go on and on and on and on and on, right? So I hope you found this helpful in terms of understanding SEO metrics in Semrush. If there's anything you did have questions about, don't hesitate to reach out. You can just drop your questions in the comments section below, and I'll be sure to get back to them there. If you're like most new business owners, you're probably struggling to get your online presence established, let alone get it to the point where it's bringing you a consistent flow of customers, right? So that's why I created this free course where I actually walk you step by step through the whole process of setting up your online presence.
This is the same process we've been using for our clients for over a decade at one of my agencies. And essentially, I'm going to show you how to set up an SEO-friendly business name right from the get-go, how to develop your website really quickly and easily, how to set up your Google Maps listing, start getting some Google reviews, everything you need in order to have a substantial online presence where people can actually start finding you and purchasing your products or services. The best part is I'm going to show you how to do it in under a couple of hours, and all for less than $50. If you're interested, I'll leave a link below where you can get signed up today. Make sure to check this course out for free right now because I'm probably going to start charging for this at some point in the future. All right, I'll see you on the other side.